Good morning. We are talking preps, Fayetteville football. Billy Dawson kind enough to join us this morning as we head into another round of the playoffs. And lo and behold, the Bulldogs are playing Bryant. It's almost like Groundhog Day, deja vu, over and over again. Fayetteville and Bryant, constantly.
It seems that way. There's four
it,
times in a calendar year. So
yeah.
uh, I told Buck last week we probably could play Tuesday, and everybody be okay. So very familiar with them. They are with us, and what a great rival it's been, man. It's been a year of really, really good football games.
Indeed, it has. The last three games, oddly enough, have come down to 1 point margins. Have you ever been a part of a series like that?
I haven't, and to come down to 1 point game three times in a row is exciting. It's interesting. All three of those games were derived at that 1 point in different fashions. So, it's kind of neat to watch, and we'll see what happens Friday. But it wouldn't shock me if it came down to the same thing.
Oh, no doubt. I would expect it will be a close ball game. When do you go? I would assume you go back and watch tape of those games. What do you look for in particular? Is there something particular you're looking for when you scout it?
Well, one thing that interests me with Bryant is in the games that they win and the games against us all three times, they've had a period of 7 to 9 minutes, either in the first quarter or the third quarter, that they absolutely ambush you. And it's kind of a snowball rolling downhill, and you can't stop it. Blair, they did it to us 28 points in 8 minutes up there against them in the third quarter this year. They did it to us last year in the third quarter, 21 unanswered. Um, so it's when's that ambush going to happen, and how do you control it? And because this is going to be a game of runs and momentum, and they've done it to us twice in the third quarter. So it'll be interesting to see when that happens. I went back and watched their other games, and it's basically the same thing. At some point, there's going to be an ambush attack. So, preparing for that, preparing your kids for that, and being able to overcome it.
You got out of there with the win last time. How much confidence does that give this team? I know it was a long time ago, and a lot of football's happened since then. But knowing that you've gone down there before and won, does that play a factor into the mentality for Friday night?
Yeah, I think it does. There's no question, and I think our kids have gotten better. We're a better team than we were week three. There's no question about it. Our kids are better. We're playing better on defense. We're playing better on the offensive line, and I'm sure they're better too. They've played an outstanding schedule as well, so I'm sure they've improved as well. But I feel like it's a different team in terms of how far we've come and how good we're playing. And I think our kids are playing right now with lots of confidence. So we're excited about going down there. We know they're extremely big. We know they're athletic. We know they're a really, really good football team, Blair. We're not taking anything away from them. And we're going in there with the right mindset. But, we think we have a pretty good football team too. And so we're looking forward to it.
No doubt. What will be keys to get another victory in Bryan on Friday night? What are three things maybe your team really needs to do well?
Yeah, usually when you play them a second time in the playoffs, and history from my standpoint tells me that, the second time the game in the playoffs, whether you play them in the preseason, the game in the playoffs is always a lot lower scoring. And that's proved to be true. The last year we played them, it was 2 touchdowns less scoring for each team. So, it wouldn't shock me if it's points will be a premium. A field goal, fielding the punt, fielding the punt and not letting the extra 20 yards roll. A turnover at the wrong time. Blair, these games can be magnified with about 5 plays during the game, and maybe a special team play, maybe a missed tackle. I just want our kids to play really hard, and play with some enthusiasm and energy. And I've said this before this week, and I believe it. I believe there's 3 or 4 or 5 teams you can shake up in the bottle, and it's going to be a play here or there to see who wins it all.
No question about it. It's been a fantastic playoff season, and we've not even mentioned the first round game over Catholic. You guys were very impressive. Came out and just you wanted a fast start. You got it. It was almost like you just followed the keys down the line. An impressive performance and really held Johnson. Unfortunately, he got hurt, but you were able to hold him in check, and that really made it tough for Catholic.
It did. Our defense has really played really, really well. And, we've done that the last 3 or 4 weeks. I thought our defense has really come on. And, And offensively, we've been fast starting. When we get our guys in space, they can be pretty good. And I was really happy with the way our kids played. We were locked in all week, Blair. It might have been the best week of practice we've had. And, I could tell all week that our kids had sensed the playoff time and sensed it was time to go.
How's practice been this week?
It's been good. It's been good. It's that time of year. It's cold now. We've been outside every day, and that wind will cut you. And we got a little snow flurry, and it's been cold, but it's been very good. Our kids are focused in.
Well, that's good. It'll be actually warm today. It'll be above freezing for once. And I was looking at the forecast.
Yeah, it's going to be in the 40s today, and tomorrow down there's in the 50s. We'll think we're in a heat wave.
no doubt about it. I was going to ask you about that. When it's cold like that, do you practice inside or do you practice outside? Do you have a preference? Because obviously when you play games, it's going to be outside.
We try to go outside, Blair, as much as we can if it's not lightning. This week was unique. It was 24 degrees Monday, and the wind was absolutely crazy. And so I called our leadership council in, our senior leadership, and I said, we can go inside and fight the space, or we can go outside and fight the weather. I just want the best thing for our team. And those four guys thought it was best for us to go outside. So we went outside all week, and our kids handled it as good as you can handle it. We're fortunate on the east side of the state last night. I saw snow everywhere, kids practicing in the snow, and we didn't get that, but we surely got some cold weather.
We did, and 50 is going to sound tropic, like you said earlier on Friday. That'll be nice. And, of course, last time we were down there, it was. I guess it's always hot in Bryant because it was steamy last time we were down there.
Yeah, when you play those guys in September, it's a little bit different, and so it'll be a really nice night. 50 degrees, probably 48 or 47 at kickoff. It's going to be a nice night for football, playoff football, and two really good teams, Blair. I would say that obviously two of the best teams still playing, but two of the best teams in the state, but really good, well coached two teams. No doubt.
And it seems like every time I read the paper or look on the internet, people are talking about this particular matchup as being the game of the week. Does that result in more interviews and things for you? Do you notice that?
Well, yes. And, I do quite a few anyway, Blair, just, in Northwest Arkansas. But when we play a Bryant or we play a Central team, then it doubles. And it's a big matchup for a lot of reasons. It's a quarterfinal state, but also it's Fayetteville Bryant, and it's been such a war the last three times we've played. So, it's everybody's game of the week, and I get it. And I hope it's our game of the week.
No doubt. Well, Coach, I appreciate the time. Thanks a lot. Good luck. We'll see you on Friday.
Thanks, Blair. Go Dogs.